Our final reader for the evening is Miss Tiffany Lozano, who wrote to us that she is a bohemian mother. Really, here. She's the writer, mother, wife, traveler, pursuer of everything. And she would like someday to move her family onto a boat and sail around the world. And I actually have no doubt she might do that. This is Last Call for Sanity. Nothing says motherhood like jolting out of a sound sleep to the wretches of a small child. You swoop to comfort and assess the situation, but it's too late. By the time you affirm what is about to occur, the warm and pungent sensation is already dripping down your back. Pulling chunks from your hair, you blink disbelievingly into the darkness. Nature couldn't be so cruel, and yet she is by design. Remember the whole pregnancy and birth thing? I devoured pregnancy and birthing books, much like I could plow through 5 servings of peanut butter in one setting. Propelled by my desire to be the best mother, I hunted down answers to the unknown with unmatched enthusiasm. I was certain that given enough research, I would transition gracefully from woman to mother. I was wrong. Nothing you read or piece of advice anyone gives you can prepare you for the devastation your new bundle of joy will cause to your previous existence. Everyone talks about the pure joy and sheer exhilaration you feel when holding your own flesh and blood for the first time. Yes, there's that, absolutely. I walked around in a state of bliss the entire first month after my angelic baby boy arrived. Then the sleep deprivation set in, and the paralyzing realization that his needs would come before my own for the rest of his life. The fact that I was exhausted and my nipples were cracked and bleeding from overuse did in no way deter my son's enthusiasm for nursing at 2 a.m., and again at 4 a.m., and again at 6 a.m., and so on every 2 hours around the clock. Everyone around me told me to enjoy these precious early months, that before I knew it, my baby boy would be asking for the keys to the family car. I remember thinking wretchedly that 18 years couldn't go by fast enough. The first 6 months I spent as a mother were the longest of my life, and the crow's feet and gray hairs are still with me to prove it. My precious baby didn't sleep through the night until he was 9 months old. And for you non-parents, sleeping through the night for an infant is an uninterrupted 5 hours of sleep. So technically, a 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. shift is some wise medical person's idea of sleeping through the night. I'm guessing they're at liberty to stand behind this bullshit definition because they haven't lactated. Mothering for me has been a huge slice of humble pie. At times, it's been downright degrading. My daughter, Serafina, was only 4 weeks old when I began working as a wedding consultant for an upscale boutique property in Lake Tahoe. On a cold December afternoon, I was meeting with a hip and charming couple from San Francisco's Russian Hill District. We were discussing in excruciating detail whether guests would prefer a warm mushroom phyllo tart or a honey mustard glazed pork tenderloin on a potato crisp when I caught sight of my husband. I tried to look every bit the part of a concerned wedding specialist as my husband paced outside the restaurant window directly in my line of vision. I could tell by his rhythmic bouncing, my baby girl was crying and hungry and had been for some time. My phone, lying on the table, then flashed a text message confirming what I already knew. My husband had forgotten the bottle, and I was the closest food source. The sight of my infant and the knowledge that she was hungry and upset was enough to start my maternal flow. The sensation was unmistakable, but I prayed that the scratchy pads I had tucked into my nursing bra for just this reason would protect me from the unthinkable. I fumbled for a reason to excuse myself as Bridezilla loomed in front of me, a faux smile pasted on her face, unable to comprehend anything could possibly be more important than her big day. Despite her disapproving glare, I rushed to my baby's rescue. Hunkering down in the nearest supply closet, I stifled a giggle at what my bridezilla had in store for her. Not so long ago, I was the blushing bride aglow with possibility. Now, in my adoring groom's eyes, I was little more than a dairy cow. As I later recounted the story to a girlfriend, she took pity. "Oh, girl, hang in there. You're in the trenches. You're down in the mud, belly crawling and scratching your way to bedtime and any other piece of sanity." And though the trenches metaphor is chillingly accurate, the mother goddess version of motherhood is also true. Mothering has unearthed a dimension in me that I didn't even know existed. When my husband and I met each of our children for the first time, I was overwhelmed with the purity of love both times. Love for your child is like no other love. It is pure, white, ever-expanding light. There are no words to describe it, only a lifetime spent enjoying it can possibly contain it. And so, while I absolutely mourn the loss of my freedoms at times, I wouldn't trade the 4-hour sleep shifts and 3 a.m. vomit-induced wake-ups for a single day of my former life. But I can tell you with absolute conviction, my decision to wait until my 30s to have children is affirmed daily. I savored every last selfish and narcissistic moment my 20s had to offer. I traveled and closed down European nightclubs at 8 a.m. I drank too much, overdrew my checking account, bought expensive shoes, and made mistakes only a single reckless woman can indulge in. I explored careers and took a non-linear approach to work and life. I celebrated life alone until it seemed there must be something more. Then my husband arrived on the scene at just the right moment and knocked my selfish existence out of orbit with his authentic vulnerability. Unlike the horror stories of early parenthood, the multiplier effect between a husband, a wife, and my 2 beautiful children is indescribable. I am now absolutely Tiffany times 4, exponentially better. Happy Mother's Day, fellow mothers. This is the hardest damn club I've ever been in. Thanks for inspiring me with your grace and humanity. And to my own mother, Karen, thank you for all the things you did that I never even noticed. I love you.